show. What is this? This is the third week in May, second week in May. I'm not for sure. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today I'm gonna go over my new controller, which is very similar to my old controller, but I'll show you what I've done to it. We're gonna go over the Mini B and the Mini T truck. I show you everything that I've done to those two vehicles, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to work on next, which is, again, the Kraton 6S show truck. So we've got a lot of modifications to do to it, and then the parts we take off of it, we're going to put on the basher. So I'll show you what we're going to put on the show truck. We'll do that. And then I'll have another video on that. And then we'll come back and I will upgrade the basher, get it all ready to go, and then I'll do a video on that. And then hopefully that takes up 2 weeks. I've told the sponsors that in 2 weeks I'm going to start the SCX6 mega build. So 2 weeks from Monday. So 2 weeks from Monday, we're going to start that. That's just going to be an awesome project. I'm excited. It's going to be cool looking. It's going to be really tough, really fast. So get ready for that one. But for now, let's start this show with the RC8X.
Welcome to Radiolink.
So the RC8X, I hope you can see that. This is the controller I've been using for about, I don't know, it came out what, year and a half ago, something like that. Well, when I sold part of my collection here recently, I sold the controller with it too because it was already set up for the four-wheel steer. And right out of the box, if somebody buys vehicles that are four-wheel steer, you want them to be able to use it. So he decided to buy my controller. That way, right out of the box, it would be ready to go for every one of these vehicles that he purchased. So I had to get another one. Differences between this one and my other one, I don't think there are any. But I'm going to show you what I've done to it. I might have talked about this in another video, but I don't know. It just seemed like today was a good day to talk about it again. So, when I got the radio, I first swapped out the steering wheel. I went with this red one since all the accessories from Radiolink are red. This one I got from A-Main Hobbies. You can't just bolt it up to the RC8X. You got to find an adapter. And I actually found another steering wheel that goes on the Futaba something or other. And it had a couple adapters with it. And if you partially modify one of them, it works just perfectly. So I'll try and get those part numbers for you and put them on here, but we'll see. I used one of my cone nut spacers, I guess they are, or screw spacer. That way you can get a big head bolt, or it's, what are they called? I have to think about this. I can't. Head socket, I think that's what it's called. The head socket version of screws. This is an M3. So I took an M3 screw that I had in my millions and millions of screws. Put that inside that spacer. put the adapter on the inside of the steering wheel, and bam, there you go. Completely functional. It's really a good setup. So next up, I don't use this much, but some people do, is the thumb steer if you're doing one-handed. So that's how that's set up, one-handed. Works pretty good, I guess. It's adjustable, so it will fit on, it comes with extra screws, different sizes, so if your steering wheel is really big, it'll still fit. And then it's got these 2 adjustment screws here that you can put it wherever your thumb is comfortably. Next up is the Radiolink phone holder. So this allows you to put a phone holder on your RC8X. So connects down here at the bottom. One screw goes through. It's a screw hole that's already there. And then this part you put together with 2 screws. And then there's one screw that goes in for this joint. And this is totally adjustable. You can put it flat. You can dip it down. And then this has one screw on it to where you can turn it, move it around. You can even put the screw in the back and have your phone flat, but that gets in the way of the screen, so I don't suggest it, but it's got adjustments all over the place. Let's see, the next thing I did, and it has little tabs here. You can see where I've cut them off. It doesn't look pretty, but it is the bottom of your controller, so it doesn't really matter. These are just plastic. And setting it on anything, it just slides right off. So I cut those off, and I put rubber feet in their places. And this secures it no matter what you put it on. This would be the first thing I would do if I ever bought this radio, was cut those feet off, put these rubber feet on. It makes a ton of difference. Lastly, I got a battery. It's a 2000 milliamp 7.4 volt DX6E battery. It fits perfectly, and if you put the wires under it, it won't rattle. Otherwise, you can put some cardboard filler in there. But yeah. And then the final, other than the feet and the battery, is the NSDRC lanyard. One funny fact, these lanyards come with big hoops on the end. It will not fit where you're supposed to put a lanyard. The Radiolink one won't fit here either, so I'm not sure why they made this so small, but it's kind of useless unless you use a zip tie, which is what I did before. But once you add the phone thing, you can just put it on there and it's tight. This is 8-channel. It holds 200 different vehicles, if you have 200. 4-wheel steer setup is really easy. It's got I'll show you here. Oh.
Welcome to Radiolink.
So if you go through the menu here, under mixing, you got steering mixing, and then you can turn on four-wheel steer here. And you got steering 1 and steering 2. You got channel 1 for steering 1, and then you put whatever under the channel 2. So like channel 2 for steering would be channel 3. So you'd have channel 1 and channel 3, and then it automatically sets up your four-wheel steering. There's a couple other things you have to do. Of course, you have to set up your endpoints and centering. Remember, if you don't have a servo saver, you need to set up your endpoints prior to actually having it in the vehicle. What I do is I set them real low, like 30%, and then I put it in the vehicle, and then I just go out from there. And once I see that servo strain just a tad bit, that's my endpoint. Or I back it up a little bit. I back it up 2 or 3%. So all that's very easy with this radio. It tells you everything instead of you just having to guess which switch you have to do. But yeah, that's my controller. It fits great in the hand, especially for big hands. All right. That's the controller. I would suggest, now I've had all the Spectrums, 5 Pros, DX5 Pros, Futaba. I haven't had anything of their latest stuff. I mean, some of that stuff looks really great. Sanwa, I used to have some Sanwa. Now, you can't even find a Sanwa that has more than 4 channels. Or 3. Most of them have 3. What else? I haven't tried any of the Dumbro stuff. I think that's what it's called. Not for sure, but anyway, I would suggest the Radiolink RC8X to anybody that asks me. It's been a great radio. Haven't had any issues. I've dropped them a few times. All kind of stuff, and the screen is, everything still works perfectly. Anyway, so now let's get to, this is obviously the Mini T. Now there's a guy on eBay that makes these stands, and he makes them for all kinds of stuff, but it is, for 3D printed, it is so sturdy. It's got a screw holding on each leg. I mean, there's no rattles, there's no movement. That's probably the most sturdy 3D printed thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's all high quality, so he ran it at a good quality rate. And then he ran it so thick, I mean, man. He's got a really good table too. You can see that it's all clean even on the bottom. I'm not sure what machine he has, but man, it does a great job. Made in the USA. Alright. The Mini T, I've just got the Mini T truck body on it. I have a Volkswagen Beetle that I'm supposed to paint up for it, and I just haven't had time to do that yet, so I might do that in the near future. I've already shown you guys this truck, so what we're going to do is we'll compare them, because I have this little guy, which is badass. It also has its own stand. So the color scheme on this was purple and black. This one's purple and black. Color scheme on this was red and black. And I got red and black. So the red matches the body, but of course the red color scheme, it's more of a burgundy. And that's because of just trying to make red parts. So anyway, So, get the stands off to the side here. Get this body out of the way. This body is not held down with the clips. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Velcro on these side pieces. And that will Velcro straight to here, on and off. That's how I run all my buggies. I used to race like that, never had an issue, so that's what I'll do here. As you can see here, we've got NSDRC servo stickers, MIP. The reason MIP doesn't sponsor me or anything, but I've spent so much money on MIP stuff, I figure I should at least put the sticker on my car. There's MIP parts in this vehicle, so we've got the Pissed Rhino logo on the front. We got Fast Eddie bearings. And then we got some funny stickers like Broke Again on the spur gear sprout. And then we got Money Well Wasted and Just Gonna Send It, which is funny. I think it's funny. But yeah, it's a beautiful body. There's a guy on eBay again that professionally paints these. He does all kinds of bodies, so if you need a body, and I'll be honest with you, this was friggin' cheap. I mean, this costs less than me trying to buy a new clear body. And you guys know I can't paint for shit, so to get one pre-painted in the colors that I wanted, hell yeah. So you might check him out. He's got good deals. Alright, side by side. So you can see a lot of differences here. I'll make sure we got it all in the camera. There we go. Let's look at the things that are the same. The electronics. We've got sorry, NSDRC servos. We've got Furatech SpeedCat ESCs. We've got Furatech Kraton motors. And we have Radiolink receivers. It's 4-channel up to 10 volts, so it should work perfectly. So all the electronics are the same. And why they're the same is because I trust every single one of them. Radiolink, obviously, I've got RC8X. These servos have never failed, the servos have never failed me too, but the Radiolink receivers have never failed me. The NSDRC RS100 servo, I've had to have purchased over 30 or so, and never had an issue. Now, mind you, I don't run my vehicles real hard all the time, but the Basher I have, and it's got NSDRC servos in it too, so never had an issue. All right, so if we look at the front, we started at the very front. This one's got a GPM front bumper, and this one's got a generic. What I found is when I'm trying to get just the aluminum, the generic stuff I found was just CNC'd aluminum. No weird coating or, what do I say, texture. Like if you look right here, this is the GPM front nose piece, and it's textured. And I really don't like that. If I'm going to do it in aluminum, I want it just raw aluminum. CNC markings are fine. I don't mind if it's marked up with CNC markings, but to put an artificial texture on there makes me think that you're covering up some shitty aluminum. So that's why I like to go. And I found this generic stuff all from the same place, and it's really nice. I mean, compare these two front bumpers. You can see the texture on this. You can see the way it's cut. And then this one, It's got a big flat bumper area, and the rest of it is pretty close to the same. So yeah. Anyway, so you'll see a lot of generic aluminum parts on this one. And it's not for price, because they're still just as expensive, if not more. But you're also not paying for GPM's name or Hot Racing's name. But you'll see as we go through this. So the bumpers are different. This one's GPM, this one's a generic company. This one's got aluminum A-arms. This one's got the plastic. And these are the caster blocks. Those are the only thing I'm still waiting on. They're in the mail, but I'm waiting on those to finish up. You can see the little bit of slop I have is due to those caster blocks. Now this one, it's got the same thing. So I think if I replace those caster blocks, this will tighten up a lot more. But you see the arms look pretty cool. Simple, not as much going on as on this one. Alright, let's flip them back over. Alright, so this piece here is what connects the rods, the front rods, and it connects to this upper piece. So these are two different pieces that screw together. So the bottom one is, again, the generic company, and the upper one is GPM, which is that textured weird shit. We also go on the actual links themselves. These are GPM. You can see they have a little bit of a texture to them, not much. But these are sturdy. These are very sturdy. I don't know why you would need something that sturdy on one of these, but it is, and well, I got them, so they're there. So on this one, you got the Hot Racing link piece, and then the nose, the Hot Racing nose. Here you have the Team Losi Pro shocks, and then a carbon fiber front shock tower, whereas this one has GPM shocks and a aluminum shock tower. Looks really good, I think. I mean, when you're doing something in all machined aluminum, I think it just looks sexy. Alright, so the next thing we get into is both of these. Let's see if you can see it better. I think you can see it better in this one. Both of these have Hot Racing steering bell caps, or bell crank, whatever it is. The reason is because the Hot Racing one allows you to put bearings in. All the others have bushings or nothing at all. So I'm not sure why you would buy any of the others as an upgrade, but don't buy them unless they've got the ball bearings in them. The bearings is what really is the upgrade. So, I mean, you got bearings at your wheels and at your transmission, but you need them in your steering as well. So both of these have Hot Racing steering bell crank, and it's got bearings in it. It's noticeable. I mean, these just move. Move real easy. All right. Moving on. It's got these little braces on the side. These are hot racing on the red, and these are generic on the colorless, the purple. Chassis side skirts. So I bought these to go on this vehicle, but they don't fit this vehicle. These are made for the smaller chassis. So that's what I got here. I've got these on the truck chassis. I'm kind of thinking about getting a second one of these chassis and just bolting all this stuff onto it and then making the Beetle body fit that situation. But I mean, I'm guessing I can get this. Well, I know I can get this chassis very cheap. So I need to look into it. Because the truck should be the same length, I think. I think it'll look cool. I think I can make it look like a pre-runner type thing if I have this chassis on this one. We'll see how it works out. Oh, coming through the middle, we got our Velcro for our battery. That's all you need for these little guys is some Velcro. Good Velcro. And you don't have to worry about it. Underneath the gear covers, you can see this one has a GPM. It's got the little hole for the adjustment of your slipper clutch. This one does not have the hole, but you only got to take out 2 screws to actually get that off, so it's no big deal. Speaking of which, see if I can find. So I'm going to do this to show you what's under the... Oh shoot, it's the small one. Figure you guys would want to see this. I know I would if I was building one of these or thinking about it. That little guy comes off, and then you've got this. So we've got, I think, a 16 or 17 pinion gear. I've got a metal spur gear. I think it's, can't remember what size it is, but it's a stock size. I got MIP main shaft. And an MIP clutch. So that's and the clutch is, I got the clutch really tight on this one. I might need to loosen it up a bit, I don't know. But yeah, so there you can see spur gear, pinion gear, MIP clutch, and then the MIP shaft goes all the way through. And then I've got an MIP diff inside this transmission. Now I'm not going to take that apart because that's a pain in the ass to put all that back together. Other things, this is a GPM motor mount, whereas this one is hot racing. Yeah, jeez. Hot racing and GPM. Then I've got the generic transmission case on this one. And then this one is GPM. The black one is a GPM transmission case. All aluminum. All that's aluminum. One thing I did do is I had purchased MIP axles. And I don't know if it's my A-arms or what's going on, but with the MIP axles, it would just lock up. And they were too long. Now, when I got it to where they would work, extending this wheel was like at a 40-degree angle. Right now it's at a 10. But it was like a 35-degree angle to get those axles to work. So I put in the stock axles and, you know, it's set up just fine. So I got the rear links as well. These are GPM. I got the rear A-arms, which are a generic company. And then I got the rear bumper, which is GPM. I've used GPM in the past and I've had good luck with them. I just don't like their aluminum parts because they put that texture on them. But it's the only parts I could get in the raw aluminum color. So rear aluminum shock tower. The only stock parts on this are the chassis, these plastic chassis rails, and this plastic little guy here, which I could take off, and I probably will. Oh, and the part that holds the wing on. And then I got a big carbon fiber, like Batman wing. It's okay, but I'm not really fond of it. It's just flimsy. But it looks alright. I'll keep it on there until it falls off. So I think that's everything. And if we compare it to the truck, obviously the Pro Shocks, carbon fiber shock tower, and then the plastic links and the plastic arms. This one's more of a go out and run it build. And this one's more of a showstopper type build. I mean, it's got everything done to it. I mean, the parts aren't that expensive, so you could go out and run that and tear it up, and it's no big deal. Sorry. I won't be running it, but you can see the big old wheels and tires, Toyo tires, and these are TE37 Plus. I can't remember the brand they're representing. Obviously they're fake, but the brand they're representing is... I had a set on a BMW at one time, and it just, I can't think of it. Tuner cars get them a lot. You'll see it on Supras and all that good stuff, but I can't remember the brand. But so I think that's it. I would show you how they run, but I don't have any batteries. Evidently, when I was packing up some stuff that I had sold, I sold all my batteries. So I gotta get some new ones for these. Obviously they'll be Ovonic 850 milliamp hour, 3S, and it'll fit right here. Shouldn't have a problem. Hey guys, well, I put this one back together. I don't think if there's anything else. Oh, we need to go over the parts for the show truck upgrade, because that's what I'm working on next. So give me just a second and we'll go over the parts for the upgrade. And then, after the mega build, I've got a TRX4M I gotta build, and I got an Ascent that I have to build. So, plenty of stuff going on here. Alright, so that's on. I'll put these back over on my display. And I will pick up the box of goodies. Now, I'll be right back. Here we go. I think we went through most of this stuff, but I have to get it out anyway, so I might as well go through it again. So, scorched parts. Got some stickers here, which I haven't had before, so that's good. Titanium steering link. Then I've got this trill that I bought previously, but that either I'll sell that or figure out what I'm gonna do with that. That's not going on the vehicle because Scorched sent me these. So this is the steering bell cranks. Go just like this. And these do not have this right here. These just go straight on with no issues. At least I'm hoping no issues. So I need these. These are from the EXB. These are the better version. sure I have other bearings, but I'll have to look. But that'll go right up in there with the bearings. No stupid shit to worry about. So that's the first thing going on. Scorch parts. Not sure what that goes to. These. This is also for the steering. So here, so it's got a washer here, and then two more washers. I wonder if that top washer is on stock. I don't know. But anyway, what happens is you get to put these bearings in. Maybe. No. It might fit eventually. But yeah. So that's how you'll have bearings there, which should smooth that up a lot. At least I'm hoping so. Because it's a mess right now. Oh, sorry, I hit my camera stand. What we got here is something I'm excited about because it's been needed on my truck. And this is the proper upper hinge encapsulator. First off, made like $1 million bucks. Looks great. And this goes on there, and your pins actually screw into there. I have titanium pins, and they will screw right in there, making it secure. The other version has the hole with the little set screw, and I can tell you from experience that didn't work so well. So actually the one on the basher is stripped out and trashed. That's the EXB one, just junked out. I had purchased these from M2C, but these are not threaded. These use the little screw, which is fine on the EXB because that's the type of pins it has. But I bought 2 of these, so I have an extra one. So if anybody needs one of these, hit me up. I'll give it to you for 50% of the price they sell it for. I want to get all this stuff open because I'm going to be working on it here shortly. Man, look how shiny those are. I tell you what, Scorched has done a great job making parts. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm a fan of CRCU. They do a great job on parts. And Scorched is right up there. Beautiful pieces. Those look amazing. I've got titanium front links and rear, front and rear links. Titanium, love titanium. You can see the difference in color in titanium. So this is titanium too, so you can see it's more of a dark chrome versus a shiny chrome. So that's pretty much, other than testing, that's the only way you can tell the difference between titanium and aluminum. Other than the weight. The weight kind of gives it away. If you're paying attention to the weight, you can tell. Alright, next up to bat. These actually go on the next part. So I'll show you that and we'll assemble them. First, I'll show you. I got these spacers. I'm going to extend the length of the truck body. So I got these spacers to do that. So I'll be doing that as well. Be easier to show you than explain it because it's, it's not normal. But I'm doing it so that the body fits better. And these little ones will happen, make it happen. Alright, so we got a ton of screws and parts that go with these, so I'm not going to open them. But I really want to see that badly. The weird thing is, none of the parts came with these screws. Maybe these will do it. Alright, so these are titanium too. You can see the color difference. And big O scorched. And these go like this. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So this one's going to need bigger. I don't think I'll have to worry about these breaking anytime soon. I mean, this is everything you want. Screws go all the way through. So you got so many threads engaged. Alright, so there's one. So this is the piece that we broke on the basher. So these are going to go on the show truck. The ones that are on the show truck currently are going to go on the basher. The ones on the show truck are one piece. But I really like the way Scorch designed this, so it's going to go on the show truck for now, and I might buy a set for the basher at a later date. So, alright everybody, I mean, that's what we got going on today. So maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll have another video showing you with all these parts installed, and we'll go through them. I'll explain what the hardships were of doing that, and if there weren't any, then we'll move on to the basher, which has even more parts than this to put on. So this should keep me busy for a couple weeks, and then we got Mega Build. And you would think all this stuff is Mega Build, because it is. The show truck was a Mega Build, but this one, the next one's even bigger. Even bigger. So, I mean, I showed you guys the motor for it, which is insane. And you know what it is, but the whole build itself is coming together. Just tons of good parts from people like NSDRC, Vidavon, Radiolink, BSI Prince, SBI Prince. He's making me some stuff for it. What else? There's one other, but I can't remember it. Damn it. But anyway, that's what's going on. And we're looking at having a ton of great videos this year. A ton. So, alright everybody. You have a great rest of your week and into the weekend. As you guys know, I usually don't build on the weekend. So, I will see you next week with an update of the show Kraton. Alright, y'all have a great one. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. Thank you so much.